welcome to the program. Thanks for being with us. You know, anyone who has lost a loved one knows grief can be very debilitating.
That's right. And processing the pain looks different for everyone. So what is the healthiest way to handle it? Well, Mary on Facebook wants to know the same thing. She said, I recently lost a loved one who was very close to me. How do I process my grief with the Lord in a healthy way? And the first thing I would say, the fact that you're processing it with the Lord means that you're doing it in a healthy way, I would think. You know, I'm automatically, I think of the psalmist, I think of King David, you know, all throughout the psalm. It's not, I mean, there's some pretty like sad, depressing.
Raw stuff,
it's
yes.
raw, exactly. I mean, his life was, there was a lot that happened in his life, and he wasn't afraid to go to God and say, Lord, my soul, I'm depressed. You know, literally, like, my soul is down. Please help me. So I think take that to the Lord. You know, this is a reminder for all of us and whatever we're grieving.
Yeah, not just death.
Exactly. Grief is from disappointment. If you have a disappointment, you know, you thought something was going to happen and it didn't. So you're grieving what was and what could have been. Just take that to the Lord.
End of a marriage. I mean, the grieving process isn't just death, right? A divorce occurs, you know, loss of a job, etc. And everybody grieves differently, right?
Yeah.
And the grieving process is so crucial to healing, whatever your heart is in need of. And everybody grieves differently, the different times it takes. I mean, universally, there's the shock of a death, per se, and then there's anger, and ultimately, you know, some people have guilt, all these stages of grieving. But if you're around someone who's grieving, that's important too.
Yeah.
You don't want to kind of tell them how to do it. Sometimes someone's in the grieving process, they're processing an emotional heartbreak of some kind, and we think we're helping by kind of trying to shake them out of it. We try to help by giving words of wisdom, you know. You know, I must have to say something. Sometimes, actually, you know, there's the ministry of presence, just being with somebody. So probably also, as we're in a grieving period, it's good to try and maybe surround ourselves with people just so we're not alone.
Absolutely. That's something I was definitely going to talk about as well, is just making sure that you are surrounded by people of faith who can uplift you. Because I've seen, not just in my own life, but people who are grieving the loss of very significant people in their life, such as a spouse. It is literally the people around them that will get them through. Just being there, like you said. You know, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And I typically am the person, I like to, sometimes I care so much, I want to fix it for people. I'm like, okay, let me tell you what to do. And a lot of times the Lord is like, no, you just need to.
That's interesting, because usually men are accused, so to speak, of always wanting to fix the problem, where women often just want to kind of process and talk. But you think you're someone who more wants to, here, do this, here, try this.
Yes, absolutely. And so the Lord has definitely had to be like, Ashley, relax, just be there for them. But it helps you
help other people.
Yes, yeah, but sometimes, like you said, it can be kind of overbearing, and your presence is so much more powerful than sometimes your words.
Yeah.
So. And
it's great that Scripture reminds us we do not have a high priest who cannot identify with our weaknesses and sorrows. You know, Jesus knew sorrow, certainly. And of course, you know, when Lazarus had died and Mary and Martha were saying, where were you, Jesus? He's dead. You could have been here. You could have done something. And Scripture, of course, you know, it's that very short 2-word Scripture, Jesus wept. And there's various opinions on why he was weeping. I think certainly something that has credence is he was sorrowful. He loved Lazarus. He loved Mary and Martha. And we have a high priest who understands our weakness. That's why, as you mentioned, this question is so healthy. How do I process grief in a healthy way with the Lord? Yeah,
absolutely. I love that scripture so much. I was in a Bible study a few years ago, and someone had brought up that Bible verse, saying that it was one of their favorites. And he broke down the Greek word for when Jesus wept, you know, that simple verse, Jesus wept. And the Greek word is, for that phrase, Jesus wept, is the emotions of a raging war horse, ready to go to battle for you. And it's just, when you think of that, Jesus is ready, willing, and able to go to battle for you. You just have to be still and know that he is fighting for you in this time of grief, in this time of disappointment. Run to Jesus, because he's already there fighting for you, and you will be victorious in whatever you're going through.
And just a small note in that process of being still before the Lord, I think journaling is healthy. You know, sit down.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you want to be at your device or grab a pen and paper, old-fashioned way, but just write out your feelings. And there's something really healthy and healing about just getting it out there like David did, as you mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. Well, if you would like to ask us a question or give us a topic to talk about like we just did on the show, make sure you visit our social media pages. Look for our posts on the different platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can also visit our YouTube page for extended interviews and stories and clips like this. Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Key. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can reach more people with encouraging content like you just watched, and so you never miss a beat. See you next time, and God bless.